TKMAXX has captivated the UK audience in a way that no other retailer has in that space. You want a Ralph Lauren umbrella? Get it from TKMAXX. If you want a Gina pair of shoes for 60% of the retail price, get it from TKMAXX. There isn't another store in the UK that competes with them, and that is why they are so successful.
It's a shock, but can you tell the difference? Consumer behaviour and retailing lecturer Dr. Amna has given 3 industry experts 6 items we picked up from TKMAXX to see if they can tell which brands are independent boutique designers and which ones are made by TKMAXX.
I want you to have a look at the look, the feel, take a look at the brand names.
You can tell thought's been put into the brand name.
Well, I think if you were to tell me that this was a TKMAXX own brand product, I think they've really pulled it off here. Because it strikes me as a sort of a decent, good quality product.
The designer names they'll be analysing are Paraphrase, If It Were Me, Ruby Moon, Maison 500, Arabella and Addison, and Mercer and Madison. Another clue might be in the price tag, ranging from $14.99 to $59.99.
To be honest, I haven't heard of them. I don't think I have anything like that in my wardrobe.
It is actually a trick question. They are all own trademarks.
How do you feel about that?
Wow.
A bit speechless.
I didn't think that TKMAXX would go straight in with the high-end.
Quite eye-opening, really.
So it seems the American retailer has pulled the wool over the experts' eyes.
I'm still in shock.
For the smaller brands, it is perfect to have your brand next to a large brand because consumers perceive that things that are put together share the same value in retail.
But can you tell the difference between Le Creuset sold at the top of the pyramid and Le Creuset sold at the bottom? Dr. Amna is back with her panel of experts to inspect 3 Le Creuset teapots. One from TKMAXX, one from John Lewis, and one from Selfridges. The brand's recommended retail price for a stoneware teapot is £55.
Griff, would you like to take the cream pot?
So are there any signs to make the experts think it's a cheaper version?
I'm not sure here about the lid. I mean, it wobbles, basically. I've got some queries about whether that is a quality issue, which means it's kind of a seconds. And I think on balance, I'd probably say maybe this is the sort of the TKMAXX.
Well, Van, do you want to have a look at the teapot?
It's white here, but the lid is slightly cream. It seems like the lid is not part of this particular teapot.
Which store do you think you would buy that from?
Because of the rattling, and solely because of that, I would say TKMAXX.
Right, Opie, we're going to move on to this next teapot.
Genie in the bottle. Speak to me. There's no giveaway to tell me what store it's from, but it's beautiful, you know?
And which store do you think you'd purchase that from?
I would go with Selfridges.
Personally, I feel it's more contemporary. I prefer that. And if I was going to put my money on it, I'd probably go down the John Lewis route for this.
OK, so this is the final teapot. Opie, if you could have a look at that teapot for me.
I like this design, this shape, yeah.
There is something about these lids, isn't there? And I think the reason perhaps it matters is that one thing you definitely don't want is to pour the tea and tea goes everywhere. So that there is an element of just feeling a little bit uncomfortable about that.
Would you buy it?
I don't think so, because I think if I was going to go something in white, I would go for something a bit more contemporary.
OK, have a look.
I mean, design-wise, it looks more traditional. That's why I would say John Lewis, because it's more of a traditional store. I'd probably pay similar to what I said for the last one, £50 to £60 I'd pay for that.
The panel have had their say, and now it's time to let the genie out of the teapot.
Everyone thought that this teapot is from TKMAXX, the cream one at the end. This teapot is actually from John Lewis.
What? Are you serious? Wow.
The red-coloured teapot, that pot, is from Selfridges.
Whoa.
Moving on to the final pot. This teapot is from TKMAXX, and it is $14.99.
What?
Whoa.
Wait,
Wow.
14 or 40?
$14.99.
Incredible.
$14.99.
TKMAXX is just, it's
Incredible.
just the best.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. It's now time for a cup of tea.
The American retailer certainly seems to be the panel's cup of tea. And with a £25 saving compared to John Lewis and £35 compared to Selfridges, it's easy to see why. And it's not...
The pandemic was a perfect storm for TKMAXX. Brands had an abundance of stock as a result of lockdowns, and along comes TKMAXX with an offering that was unrivaled.